So hey everyone, welcome to this video. So in this video we are walking through the Windows Fundamentals part 3 of TryHackMe. If you haven't seen all my walkthroughs, that is from the Windows Fundamentals 2 and the part 1, okay, then you can check out my channel. I have already done so, and it's very easy to understand all those concepts because the concepts that were discussed before this video were the file system, user account control, and etc. And similar to that were the system configuration in the part 2 and computer management in that. Okay, so let us start this video, which contains some of the concepts like Windows updates and security and BitLocker. Okay, so let's start this. So as you can see, there is the task 1, which is the introduction task, which actually introduces that how you will connect to the system or the virtual machine which is given. I've already done so. You can see I'm in the VM right now, and you can do so by RDP also, but I have not shown that in this video. But if you want that thing to be discussed in a brief manner or on a holistic approach, then I can do so. Just comment down below. Okay, so this is completed as I have already started the virtual machine. Let's move on to the task 2. The task 2, which actually says about the Windows updates. Okay, so let's see what things are discussed here. Windows Update is actually a service provided by Microsoft to provide security updates, feature enhancement, and patches. Okay, some things which are the loopholes, or like the security updates will fill those loopholes. Okay, and feature enhancement will enhance the features and personalization things. Okay, so it is for the better of us. Okay, and so there are patches also for some things. Okay, for the Windows operating system, and the products which come with Microsoft Windows, like Microsoft Defender and other things, those will also be updated in those updates. Okay, and the updates are normally released on 2nd of Tuesday of each month. Okay, so every month on the 2nd Tuesday, that will be called the patch Tuesday. Okay, because on that date the updates are released. Okay, but that does not mean that if a critical update, like if you have seen recently the print nightmare. Okay, the print nightmare, which was the remote code execution vulnerability in Windows, was recently given an update by Microsoft Windows. Okay, and it is said that it was patched recently, but let's see if it has been done or not. Okay, so I will just I have just given you an example for that. It does not mean that critical updates will be given only on 2nd Tuesday. It can be done on any time. Okay, because it is very critical and it can lead to many consequences. Okay, so there is no time limit actually, but you have to remember just the patch Tuesday is just a concept, it's just a name. Okay, and there is a guide for the Microsoft update guide. You should see this guide by clicking on the link. Okay, and there is given in this picture that how you can run the Microsoft update settings. Okay, and the VM is actually here. I will just open it. I will just open Windows Update. Yeah, here you are on the Windows Update section, and it's a VM, and we have the organization actually has given us no rights on automatic updates, so we cannot do anything here. Okay, so let's see. There were some issues. I will not say issues, but some technicalities with with these updates, that some of the updates you will see require reboot. Okay, rebooting your computer is required for them to being fully implemented, but that is necessary sometimes and that is not necessary sometimes, and people regularly try to avoid those things. Okay, but those are the important things, and you should really not deny those actions on your own, on your say, on your purpose. Okay, because that is to bring you safety, okay, and security. So just try to update. Okay, and there is a FAQ also, FAQ section also. You should refer this. Let's see the question. The question is, there were two definition updates installed in the attached VM. On what date were these updates installed? Let's see the VM. So we have the VM here, and we have the view update history tab. Let's click on it, and there is the update history for definition updates, which was asked, and these updates were installed on 5/3/2021, which is 5 March 2021. So we just have to answer this only. 5/3/2021. So it's the correct answer. Let's see the task 3, which is Windows security. So moving on to the Windows security, as per Microsoft suggests that Windows security is the home. Okay, it is the home to manage all the tools that protect your device and saves your data. Okay, it is, as you can see, that it is a like a control area. Okay, for controlling all the tools that protect your device. Okay, so that's the simplest meaning of Windows security. Okay, and there are some things like I will just give you. Here you are in the Windows security. You can see there is the virus and threat protection, firewall and network protection, app and browser control, and device security. Okay, there are several settings in these. You have to dive deep into these on your own. You have to do those things. Okay, because these things are not like that you just read and you have all the knowledge. That doesn't work in anything. Okay, you just have to go on, practice these, be familiar with these, as it will take time. More and more time you devote, more and more familiar you will be with these things. Okay, and there is a section given here which actually defines what color means what. Okay, so green means your device is sufficiently protected and there are not any recommended actions, and yellow means there is a safety recommendation for you to review, and red means there is a warning that needs your immediate attention. This color coding is just similar to a traffic light, if you know. Okay, green means you are good to go, yellow means you have to wait. Okay, and red means there is a problem. Okay, so there is some things, as you can see, there is red and all here are green. Okay, so red means actually there is a warning for us, and real-time protection is off, as you can see, and that leaves our device vulnerable. Okay, so and things are asked also here. The question here is, in the above image, which area needs immediate attention? So let's see which area needs attention. The virus and threat protection area, as you can see, which labels red. Okay, so that needs your attention. So I will just write virus and threat protection. So it's correct. Let's move on to the task 4. So the task 4 talks about the virus and threat protection in good detail. Let's see about this. So here it is. So here we have given the idea of scan options. We have scanning options, that what type of scan do we want to have on our device, and there is a threat history also. Okay, if your computer or the Windows security has found any type of malware or anything which actually leaves your device vulnerable, then it will be mentioned here. Okay, and there is a section for managing settings about the virus and threat protection, and there is a section for updates also. Okay, You can do this updates by Windows Update also, and by clicking here also. Okay, and there is the ransomware protection section also. You can manage things from here also, and there are several things also which contain the privacy settings dashboard and statement. You have to read this all further. Okay, so I've already said you that there are several scan options, just like quick scan. If you have done quick scan on your device, it will check some folders which are actually commonly used by viruses to have their places. Okay, and the full scan actually runs through all your computer. Okay, and it takes a lot of time to happen. Okay, to be completed. And custom scan actually lets you choose the folders or the locations which you want to have a virus scan check. Okay, and threat history contains some of things I will show you here. Threat history. Threat history has last scan logs. As you can see, the last scan was done on this day 5/4/2021, and there were 0 threats found, and scan lasted 31 seconds. Okay, and this must 1000 files were scanned. You should really try to see all these things which I show you in this video. You should really try to do these things and see these things in your own computer. Okay, if you have Windows, just try to explore things on your own. Just don't tamper any settings. Okay, if you are beginner. Okay, so virus and threat protection settings, we'll just move on to that. So we will just see on the manage settings. So here we are in the real-time protection. Okay, so the real-time protection actually eventually means that in the real time, at what moment you are in the device, the Windows security is running checks on your computer continuously. Okay, and it is checking that whether malware is installing itself or running on your device or not. Okay, so it gives you see on the real-time trading is a good example for it. Okay, so at the moment, it is talking about at the moment. And there comes the cloud delivered protection, which actually accesses some data from the cloud, and it submits some things from your computer to the cloud. Okay, for the protection of both of the things, like your device and for the greater purpose also. And there comes the automatic sample submission, which actually contains the automatic sample submission means that the samples on your device which are some like malware or which are threatening to your device are just submitted on the cloud. Okay, as you can see, if you read this, read both of these paragraphs or the descriptions, you will see that cloud delivered protection works best with automatic sample submission turned on. Okay, the cloud protection will work very good or the best at it could on automatic sample submission on. Okay, and there comes the control folder access. You can just protect files. Okay, and there comes the exclusions. If you think that some of the files you have downloaded or you have are not making your device vulnerable and are not harmful to your device, then you can exclude them. Okay, from your Windows Defender antivirus. Okay, and there is the notification settings. So let's move on to the question. The question actually asks that specifically what is turned off that Windows is notifying you to turn on. Okay, so what is turned off? So here you would see that real-time protection was turned off. Okay, and that is turned off. So let us just write it, real-time protection. So that's the correct answer. And task 5, let's move on to the task 5, which is firewall and network protection. I will just open firewall and network protection. Let me just enable the search button so it will be easy for us. So, firewall and network protection, here it is. So, there are several things like domain network, private network and public network. Okay, so these things are actually some concepts which is discussed here. Okay, and there is the definition of firewall also. A firewall is actually like a guard which guards all your ports on your device where the connections are being established. Okay, and there comes the type of firewall profiles which is bifurcated into domain, private and public profile. Okay, the domain profile actually applies on the networks where the host system, when there is a host system which can authenticate to a domain controller. Okay, so that's the sense. And there comes the private profile, as it is just like for if you are in the private or home networks. Okay, and there comes the public profile, which is for securing your devices at the Wi-Fi hotspots, at public places. Okay, so, and you can turn off firewall on or on, and you can also block all incoming connections. Okay, so there are several things in that settings, and you can even just let some apps go through or communicate through your Defender firewall. Okay, I will just try to show you. So here it is, allow an app through firewall. So as you can see, there are several apps. Okay, which we can allow or not allow to communicate through our firewall. Okay, so if you think that any application here is vulnerable to you, okay, which is making your device vulnerable by contacting through the firewall. Okay, so you can just disable them from contacting. You can just uncheck them, like what I am doing. Okay, so that's the case. Okay, and next thing which is talked here is about the advanced settings. Okay, so there are some advanced settings which is not actually for you if you are a beginner, and you should just not tamper any of these things. Okay, if you have some knowledge you should do, but I don't think you have knowledge and you are watching this video. I don't assume that you have a lot of knowledge in this, and but you can just explore things, that what is here or what is not. Okay, just see things. Okay, let's see about the question. And before that, the command to open Windows Defender Firewall is wf.msc. Okay, so remember that it is very short command. And let's see the question. If you were connected to airport Wi-Fi, what most likely will be the active firewall profile? So if we are at the airport Wi-Fi, then what place it is? It is a public place. So what profile will be there? There will be a public profile. I'm sorry, what's okay? So public firewall, there should be. Okay, so where we are going wrong? What likely will be the active firewall profile? Okay, so there are okay, I'm sorry. So there will be public network profile. I'm sorry for that. Public network profile. Okay, so that's correct. Okay, as you can see, there will be public. Okay, because we are at the public place. Okay, for public place there is a lot of vulnerability at your places. Okay, So that's the case. And let's see the task 6, which is app and browser control. The app and browser control actually lets you to see about the Microsoft Defender Smart Screen, which is actually a new concept. Okay, and as per Microsoft, Microsoft Defender Smart Screen protects against phishing or malware websites and applications and the downloading of potentially malicious files. Okay, so it is made for uh, a user which is doing a lot of online works. Okay, and it is vulnerable of getting malicious files or uh, going on the malware websites. Okay, so if that is you, then Microsoft Defender Smart Screen is like made for you. And there is a link also here, you should really see that. And there will be a exploit protection also for you. Okay, and in this room it is not discussed here, and I will not discuss it also. And if in future there are more rooms like Windows Fundamental 4, 5, 6 or several others, then I will surely try to discuss this. But if you are a beginner, then I don't think that you should just see it like in the screenshot at it is given. Okay, so it's completed. Let's see this task 7. The task 7 actually talks about the device security. Okay, so let's see about the device security. So here it is about the core isolation. Okay, it is not important for you at all. Okay, but I will surely say that try to watch some more videos, not from my side, but from all the YouTube community or the InfoSec community, if you want to learn more about it, or if you want to think about all these things, then you can just search it. It's just one Google click away. And there is a thing in the core isolation which is memory integrity. Okay, which prevents attacks from inserting malicious codes into the high security processes. Okay, if you are doing any high security processes, or there is a high security processes running on your device, okay, then the memory integrity will prevent attacks the insertion of malicious codes into those processes. Okay, so prevention of attacks is the main purpose of memory integrity. Okay, it will maintain the integrity of your memory. Okay, and you should just leave the settings as it is set. Okay, and there are several images as you can see, and there is the thing of there is the concept of trusted platform module, which is called TPM. Okay, and TPM actually works on a hardware level. Okay, it is designed to provide hardware based security related functions. Okay, it is for hardware based security related functions. Okay, and a TPM chip is a secure crypto processor that is designed to carry out cryptographic operations. Okay, it is just like for crypto analysis. Okay, cryptography or crypto analysis. Okay, like decoding or coding. Okay, if you want to understand on a simplest way, then it will be like coding and decoding. Okay, this chip includes multiple physical security mechanisms to make it tamper resistant, and malicious software is unable to tamper with the security functions of the TPM. Okay, so if you understand, then it is saying that it is on a hardware based. Okay, and it is for the security related functions, and it provides cryptographic operations. Okay, it handles all the cryptographic operations, and it makes the device or the hardware things tamper resistance from malware. Okay, so what is TPM? TPM is trusted platform module. Trusted platform module. So let's move on to the BitLocker, which is task 8. the task 8 actually talks about what is BitLocker. So BitLocker is exclusively the drive encryption, which actually provides data protection feature that integrates with the operating system like Windows and addresses the threats of data theft or exposure. If you have lost any of your files and if you have done BitLocker protection, then it will be some sort of protected um, from any possible threats or data theft. Okay, so that's the case. And if there is TPM, trusted processor module, installed on your device, then BitLocker offers the best protection then. Okay, BitLocker works best if a user has trusted platform module, that is TPM, version 1.0, 1.2 or later. Okay, and you know already what is TPM, so I don't think that you need to know about it more. And there is a link also, you should just check out that. So here it is asked, what must a user insert on computers that do not have a TPM version 1.2 or later? Okay, so this is being asked if if a user doesn't have TPM version 1.2 or later, then what he can do to have a BitLocker. Okay, so if you click on this link, you will reach on BitLocker's article. Then you will just move on to the system requirements, and you will see that for BitLocker to use the system integrity check provided by TPM, the computer must have TPM 1.2 or later. Okay, so that's the case for TPM 1.2 or later. But if your computer doesn't have a TPM, enabling BitLocker requires that you have a startup key on a removable device such as USB flash drive. Okay, so we must have a startup key on a USB on a device like USB. Okay, to enable BitLocker to work more efficiently. Okay, so the answer here will be USB startup key, because we need a startup key with a removable device, and USB is the most common removable device. Okay, so that's correct. And let's move on to the task 9, which is volume shadow copy service. The volume shadow copy service actually is known as VSS. Okay, and it actually keeps a shadow copy of your all the data for all the data, and actually efficiently handles for a task like restore. Okay, if you have seen it in the Windows settings, then you will find there are restore settings. Okay, and it will say you that you have to create a restore point and several other things. Okay, and if the VSS is enabled, okay, then you can perform all these things like creating a restore point, performing a system restore, configuring restore settings, and deleting those restore points which you created earlier. Okay, and the special thing here in this task is from a security perspective, malware writers know of this Windows feature, that malware writers know that there is a feature of restoring. Okay, and these malware writers actually look for a restore point. Okay, and they just try to delete all those files so that the files can never be recovered. Okay, from a ransomware attack. Okay, so that's the case. And here are some of the settings. You should see that. And there is a room also, which is Advent of Cyber 2. If you get more knowledge at after some time, then you should really consider attempting that. Okay, so what is VSS? It is virtual shadow copying service. Shadow copy service. Sorry, volume shadow copy service. I'm sorry for that. Volume shadow copy service. Okay, so that's correct. Let's move on to the conclusion. Conclusion actually says that there are several other reading materials which you really need to know about, and you should try to just have a reading habit, because it is necessary for us to read a lot. Okay, and I hope there will be more of these Windows fundamental series, and let's see if we have more of them. So until the next time, goodbye.